Hello everyone. It's been 10 years since I posted a video. Most of you know me as BJ Fitness 10 years ago, helping people transform their bodies by building muscle and losing fat. It's been quite a whirlwind since 2017 to now 2026, almost 9 years ago. And a lot has changed for the better. One thing I actually discovered is that by being a sponsored athlete, by being a part of influencers and all that kind of stuff, it made me realize that a lot of people, despite having a lot of significance and fame and success and wealth on paper or through perception of social media, they still didn't have inner peace, joy, fulfillment, love that I saw a lot of people have in countries like Thailand and Indonesia, where they didn't have a lot of material wealth, but they did have a lot of love and compassion to offer. So it kind of, through travel, it made me really go down the rabbit hole and try and understand why people don't fill their cups up, why they can go their entire life by accumulating in the material world, but in their true essence, in the inner world, they still were lacking. And one of my friends sent me a text this week, which really got me very contemplative, which was, "Hey, Ben, I tried your spiritual meditation thing, but I couldn't break through." And it got me really pondering, because the whole purpose of meditation isn't to break through. It's to become aware of your consciousness, of the seed of consciousness, or the awareness around yourself, basically becoming an observer of yourself. And what was really fascinating too is the further I dug deeper, I look up to people like Ray Dalio, who is the founder of Bridgewater Associates and a hedge fund guy. And I also look up to creatives like David Lynch, who created Twin Peaks, which is a great TV show. And both of them swear by meditation, 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening. And they are honestly probably one of the most successful people in the business world and also in creative realm. And what's been kind of the most fascinating thing on my journey through, you could say, awakening or getting in touch with my true essence and inner child nature, is that I discovered true compassion, love, joy, wisdom, and peace by doing nothing. So my story was, I was making consistent large sums of capital every single month through remote selling and traveling around the world. And I thought in my mind when I was 18, 20, this is my ideal way of living. And I soon realized that it can be a very lonely path. And especially when you don't speak the language of the culture that you live in, it's really hard to immerse yourself in a community, in a culture. And one thing I really discovered was that we're all going to die. And I don't say that to be morbid or anything like that, but even just coming back and visiting my grandfather, who's been in intensive care, he's 91, and praying with him and being around him, and then being with my dad as well. I'm house sitting his cat whilst he goes to look at property in Bali. He had a nerve compression in his spine yesterday, an episode in his lumbar 5 or lumbar 4 and sacrum 1, and he seized up on the ground and he felt uncontrollable amount of pain to the point where he needed to go to the bathroom. And I had this moment where I looked at him and I'm like, geez, it's really, the circle of life is, I start off as this little infant and baby, And I need all this support and love and attention from, my elders and the guardians around me. But as I've grown up, I'm now 34, I'm seeing my dad literally on the ground in fetal position, in agony, me needing to change his nappy. And it made me realize that we are so fragile. Not just our physical bodies, but not even our mental, but our spiritual essence is so fragile. And I really think that we should be on this planet to serve. Because as soon as we let go of the ego juice of these status symbols and trying to prove significance to others and start to accumulate these skills or wealth or develop our relationship with God, it should be there to serve others. There's a quote that I listened to. It was, the most successful men in this world create shelter that they won't sit under. And it really resonates with me because we can't take our wealth to the grave. Like if we look at Steve Jobs, billions of dollars, CEO of Apple, he's dead, but he's the richest man in the graveyard. His legacy lives on, Apple lives on, sure, but did he really give his all from a heart, compassionate point of view to build this company, or did he throw people under the bus? Like if you were to actually go up and speak to people, what was it like working with Steve Jobs? Would they tell you that he was a sincere man, that he was reliable? Would people actually from his company show up to his funeral and say good things about him at the eulogy? There's been so many things coming up lately, and because I've seen so many successful people in their 20s, and they're doing amazing things and they're making a lot of money, but I see a lot of them just absolutely confused about what to do next, and then paying large sums of capital, anywhere from 10 to 50K, to learn lessons or get guidance and coaching. I'm all for coaching, but to what end? Like, what are we optimizing for? That's the word that goes around, the buzzword that goes around the marketing and the info product industry. What are we optimizing for? Because there was also that debate that Alex Hormozi had with Tony Robbins, which was also a really good one, which went completely against Alex Hormozi's brand about fuck your feelings, follow the plan. And Tony Robbins was the only person really to get through to Alex about starting a family with Layla, like they're having a baby now. This is all God's wisdom leaking into Alex. And there's only so much material wealth can do for the ego before you realize it's only just going to keep taking. It's this samsara loop that keeps going. And what you can expect from me moving forward with these videos is that this time I'm doing it with God. I'm not doing it from an ego standpoint. So whether this channel goes to 100K, 1 million subscribers, or if it goes to 1 or 2, I don't mind. I'm surrendered to the fact. But I feel compelled by being introspective through my meditation and having that clarity of wisdom to share this wisdom with you and how it's helped me when I create that space and silence and stillness between my thoughts, my emotions, and who I think I am with my identity. It allows me to have this wisdom I can share with people like you to hopefully change your life and inspire you to do what I am doing right now. But yeah, that's all from me today, guys. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. But if that's no other questions, queries or doubtful points, I wish you all the best. God bless.